Hey guys, Bronco Nation here, and today I will be going over the Broncos Week 5 matchup against the New England Patriots in New England. As I've done many times before, I will be going over the opposing team's offseason. In this case, it is the Patriots. If you want to hear my Broncos offseason overview, go check out my Week 1 season predictions video against the Titans. And if you missed any of my other videos, go watch the first 4 prediction videos that are already out. Alright, so the Patriots in free agency signed Adrian Phillips from the Chargers. He is a safety, and I think he'll be pretty good for them, especially since they traded Daron Harmon to the Lions. They signed Brian Hoyer, who will push Jarrett Stidham for the starting job. And if Jarrett Stidham doesn't turn out to be who they thought he was, they'll start Brian Hoyer and possibly draft a quarterback next year. They signed Marquise Lee. He's a former Jaguar. He's a wide receiver. He is very injury prone. He'll be joining Mohamed Sanu and Julian Edelman as the Patriots' top wide receivers. A couple years ago, that would look like a pretty good receiving core, but right now, it does not. I don't think Marquise Lee will bring much to the table for the Patriots, especially with Jarrett Stidham starting if he does, or even really Brian Hoyer. I don't think Brian Hoyer will elevate Marquise Lee's play. They signed Dan Vital. He's a fullback, and they're using him to replace James Devlin. He retired due to injury issues. He said he would be paralyzed if he continued playing football. So he retired this offseason. They also signed Bo Allen. He's a defensive tackle from the Buccaneers. He's not all that fantastic. And the Patriots' defense was good last year, but they lost quite a few key pieces to that defense. He'll be replacing Danny Shelton at the defensive tackle spot. In free agency, the Patriots lost James Devlin, who I mentioned earlier, due to retirement. Philip Dorsett, he went to the Seattle Seahawks. He's a wide receiver. He's below average, and he wasn't even all that great with Tom Brady. So I don't think that'll be a humongous loss for the Patriots. They lost Stephen Gostkowski, who was one of the best kickers in history. They released him this offseason after spending most of last season on injured reserve. They also released Nick Folk, who was their kicker last season, while Stephen Gostkowski was injured. They lost Landon Roberts, who he was a linebacker. And he wasn't fantastic as a linebacker position. And while James Devlin was injured last year, he played fullback for a couple plays, and he would block, or I believe sometimes Tom Brady even threw to him for a short touchdown. The Patriots traded Daron Harmon to the Detroit Lions. He was a pretty good safety for them, but they do still have Devin McCourty and Patrick Chung at safety, so that's not going to be a huge deal, but he was still a pretty good player for the Patriots throughout his career. They lost Danny Shelton to the Lions as well. He was a pretty good defensive tackle for them. He never really did too much with the Browns, but Belichick was able to bring more out of him. But not a whole lot still. So, ultimately, I don't think this is a huge loss for the Patriots either. as they didn't have to waste money on somebody who doesn't deserve as much money as he got. They lost Jamie Collins, also to the Lions. This was Jamie Collins' second stint with the Patriots. He did pretty good in his first stint. Then he was traded to the Cleveland Browns. And he really fell off a cliff. He was really never the same as he had been in New England in years prior. And then last offseason, he signed a one-year deal with the Patriots, and he had the best season of his career this year. So I think that most of his success was from Bill Belichick, and I have a hard time believing that he's going to do much of anything with the Lions, even though half their team is former Patriots. They brought in Trey Flowers last year. Matt Patricia, their former defensive coordinator, is the Detroit Lions head coach. Of course, they signed Danny Shelton, traded for Deron Harmon. I believe they have LeGarrette Blount and Danny Amendola as well. So, it's quite a few former Patriots on one team. The Patriots also lost Kyle Van Noy, who was a key piece in helping them win Super Bowl 53. He really turned his career around with the Patriots after not doing so well with the Detroit Lions. I think that's a really big loss for them. Kyle Van Noy was a real key piece in their success on defense, and so I do think that'll be a big loss for them. The Patriots, of course, lost Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I talked about that in my Buccaneers video, so if you missed that, go check it out. And they also lost Rob Gronkowski to the Buccaneers. They traded him for a 4th-round draft pick after he came out of retirement to play with Tom Brady on the Buccaneers. And I also talked about that in my Buccaneers video. So if you missed that, like I said, go check that out to hear more about that. My score predictions for this game: Denver 28, New England 17. I don't think that Jarrett Stidham or Brian Hoyer is the answer at quarterback. And with all the key defensive players gone, I don't think that the Patriots are going to have as big of a season as some people hope or think. I do think the Broncos will win, even though it is an away game for them. The Broncos have a lot better skill position players. I think Drew Lock is definitely better than Brian Hoyer or Jarrett Stidham. And I definitely think that the Broncos defense is better than the Patriots defense. So all around, we're a better team. And the reason why I have this game as close as it is and not more of a blowout is due to experience. The Patriots still have very experienced players, such as Marquise Lee, who they brought in free agency, Adrian Phillips, who they also brought in free agency, Julian Edelman. Brian Hoyer has experience. There's a couple other guys. And the Patriots still have Sony Michel, who's a decent running back for them. But ultimately, I do think the Broncos have the better team, and I do think we will win this game. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, like I've said a couple times already, if you missed any of my other prediction videos, go check those out. I have a playlist of them that I've been adding the videos to that playlist as I go. That's all I have for today. I'll see you with my Week 6 predictions. See you.